All right, here I am, back again. Save America, vote Tulsi Gabbard. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Dave, and I am on Twitter. And my friend Shauna, who hopefully isn't going to be angry that I'm going to use her tweet here. Shauna is one of the great Tulsi Gabbard supporters. Her description is as follows: soldier, mother, and political activist. You can't get any better than that, right? Soldier, mother, and political activist. And she's responding to a tweet by this Lorraine person here. So apparently U.S. soldiers are just malcontents and don't matter. This is why people exit, because the people don't matter. Well, I say it's time for the people to cross over for Tulsi and let them know what matters. War matters. Innocent lives matter. Now, and she's responding to, she's tired of listening to malcontents say to hell with everything but my issue and throw a hissy fit. Their candidate didn't win. Because of that thinking, and she goes on to talk about all of the wedge issues and social. Abortion is a big issue. I'm not going to get into abortion. I'm going to save the people who hate my views on abortion. I'm not going to go into it. I've already made videos about it and had some heated arguments in various chat rooms about it. We're not going to agree on abortion, okay? Most progressives, the ones I enjoy watching, I listen to them talk about this issue and I cringe. I just get, because I know this is something that's in my DNA. Now again, I'm a man. I'm not supposed to talk about it. Just gonna let it go. My wife feels the same way. She happens to be a woman. All right, so Shauna's point here, though, is a very important point. Exit. People from, I would say people from all walks of life are getting away from this party. Now, you may say the same is true of the GOP, but it just seems a lot more, I guess, visible in the Democratic Party. There's this walk away thing that started a couple years ago because of the violence and because of this idea that you can't have free speech in the United States, that you have to shut speech down. This is becoming more and more a mainstream idea where you got panelists on The View, for instance, or whatever, hostesses on The View, and they're up there saying, yes, good, ban that. I'm glad they got rid of it. I'm glad they deplatformed those people. Those people are bad. And eventually they're going to come for you. They're going to show up for you. But getting back to Shauna's point here, she's talking about war. And that's not a pet peeve issue. The military-industrial, this is why I'm here. I keep saying this. The military-industrial complex controls so much of our economy, our decision-making process, our news media, all of those things, and all of that trickles down to the very local level, where you're in a state that is pretty much driven by a military-based economy, and nobody there is going to have the courage to get you out of that type of situation. We're constantly, by the way, being told lies about why we're going into various countries. And Shauna is a soldier, as is Tulsi Gabbard. So they've both seen this up close and personal. And when they try to communicate with other people, those other people are like, well, don't go off on your pet peeve little issue there, because I've got my pet peeve issues, and because you want doctrinal purity, we may lose again. No, you know why you may lose again? Because you put up a lousy candidate, like Hillary 2.0, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is trending everywhere. Michael Tracy has been talking about this. A lot of progressives have just been trying to discredit these numbers that are coming in. I get it. They undersample people under 40, under 30. But these Biden numbers are pretty impressive with people over 40. And a lot of those people vote. And a lot of those people are part of the old, we'll call the old left. The tribal left. The resistance left. You know Madonna, remember her talking about how she might want to blow up something? I don't know if I can say it here on YouTube. That's not helping your cause. You know what I'm saying? That's not bringing the country together. That's being purely combative and tribal rather than regrouping and say, why did we lose this election? Why did we lose it? What ideas can we bring to the forefront so we can win the election? That's what Tulsi Gabbard is about. Tulsi Gabbard, day after day, talks about ideas. No matter what the questions are. And by the way, Tulsi has been a guest now on quite a few news programs as of late because our country continues to saber rattle and try to do regime change in Iran. We're still in a basic standoff or a stalemate as far as Venezuela goes. Basically, her foreign policy is on display every day. And news programs, if they want, a view that's not shared by everybody in the media for the most part, they get Tulsi Gabbard to come on, and then everybody, gets their gloves out and tries to use Tulsi Gabbard as a punching bag, as just to create. They're basically using Tulsi Gabbard for ratings. Did you just see that naive woman? I know she used to fight or she's a major or something, but, she doesn't understand. Iran is a threat to us. Really? I mean, what happened over the last 6 months to change that? Haven't we sanctioned everybody to death too? And these people might be getting upset because we've pretty much shut down their economy? What we did in Venezuela, nobody talks about it. What we did in all of these South American countries, that people, rather than talk about why all the migrants are coming to the border and trying to dig into that, people want to build the wall. Sure, yes, you should have a secure border. I'm not in disagreement with that, like many on the tribal left who, Beto O'Rourke, no borders, we don't need to tear it down. Really? How about we get to the heart of the problem, which is the United States, neocons and neolibs are destabilizing countries. And that's why all these people are coming here. Nobody wants to talk about that. So Shauna here, her anger is not misplaced. Her anger is directed because she sees, here we go with a wedge issue. We're all going to get riled up about something, and it's going to cause, again, the tribal nature of, and I've seen it already. Everybody is talking about abortion now. Nobody is talking about the endless wars, or breaking up these large financial institutions, or putting some kind of cap, for instance, on lending rates, which Bernie and AOC have co-sponsored. Great idea. You'll get agreement across the political spectrum. We can get something done. Abortion, you're never going to get agreement on. You're never going to get agreement on. You're never going to make somebody who is really dug in on that issue understand your side. So you're going to have to say, well, you know what? I'm going to agree to disagree, but I think we need to get to work on the stuff that is bankrupting the country, the stuff that puts us in danger of a new Cold War. I mean, all of these things are very important, and we just brush them off. And we again, kind of get into our little lane and our little safe space, and we don't try to understand the gravity of the larger issues. And any blue will not do, folks. This is why, at the end of this process, if it's not Tulsi and it's not Bernie, I ain't playing. I ain't playing with the corporate parties after that. Not doing it. There's no reason for me to hang in there. I started this channel and started my new path is mainly because I knew Trump was co-opted. I don't know when that happened. And yes, I was stupid and naive. I've already admitted that. But I'm not going to go down the same road with somebody who has a D in front of their name. And by the way, if you think that person is going to do all of your little pet peeve issues, they're not. Every side always gives lip service to these cultural and social issues, but does very little to change things where your life is affected. Very little. I mean, that you have to work locally. If you don't believe in something, you have to make it so other people will come to your, your aid and your point of view, and you have to do it, one person at a time. But that's a separate battle. The main battle we need to fight right now is the corporatocracy, which is in both parties, which is threatening to pretty much destroy our future if we don't do something about it. Between the war, between the climate, between our banking and monetary systems, and people don't see it coming. All they see is what happened in Alabama and what am I going to do and how am I going to function in my life today. I don't know. It's almost as if this is by design. And people have said this before. I'm not going to be the first one. But it almost seems like it's by design. And I don't really have an answer. I don't have an answer for anybody. I'd like to say, you know what? We can get through this. We can get through it as a country, but we can't get out of our own way as individuals. We cannot look at the bigger picture. Shauna here sees the bigger picture. She understands how great of a candidate Tulsi Gabbard is, and it's all for nothing right now, kind of, because all we're hearing about is how the corporate candidate is going to support me in my little wedge issue, the one where I can, use my battering ram on my conservative friends or the people that just disagree with my point of view, and the country is more polarized, more damaged, incivility reigns. So if that's what you want, you just keep going down that path. But if you want like real reform and real change, you've got to stick to your guns and demand that these big ticket item issues are addressed. All right. I'm done. Shauna, if you see this video, I apologize in advance. I'm using you here as a prop. So, your 15 minutes of fame begin right now.